Yo, hey, this is my third restart this video because the moon's in Sagittarius and we're expanding, experiencing expansion and wisdom. And wisdom is something that you can crystallize and practicalize and preserve and use for later, which is good because with Sagittarius escaping and expanding outside these things, you know, you're gonna need something to come back to. But Mercury is debilitated in Sagittarius here right now, but it has a help with our emotions. So you might be escaping out of an emotional cage or what have you, because Mercury is still in the early degrees of Sagittarius. So when it is air gets into a fixed location, fixed water, more specifically with Scorpio, this is like that glacier that chip away at the ice that has you to be breaking off from shit and things falling and separating into different waters to expand, you know what I'm saying, releasing what was within, more of that purified fixed water intent or passion or motivation. Now we are reacting and responding in a traveling type of way with our emotions and feelings, right? And we are traveling to the deep and the dark recesses of, you know what I'm saying, our minds and our passions and motivations. So we are shining a light and awareness, the sun, the death of an ego or a nature or something that needs to be taken power and control over. And when you take power and control over something, you either take it and remove it from a situation and neutralize it, or you put it in a situation where it's uncomfortable so that you have that control, that scorpion manipulation over it. Whereas you're not stinking yourself by staying in the same situation, you're removing yourself from the situation. It's different. It's positives and negatives to taking power and control over situations and scenarios. There's over controlling, there's, you know, being too laid back and things of that nature, depending upon the decan of Scorpio and where it is in. So we are experiencing and expanding upon our emotional wisdom about something deep that we are fixated and honed upon, so that this is us adding something outside of us, mutable, you know what I'm saying, out exterior philosophies and theologies, when you're knowing and learning others how to break this shit down, right, and externalize it, so that way that it's not exoteric. That way what you know from the outside is just, you know what I'm saying, directly through people. And you know, as we break down in all of our other alignments and videos, just from a different perspective, we have to learn how to be stable in misunderstandings, with this in conjunction to Jupiter and Uranus. Still in retrograde, might I add. So still past wisdoms and experiences, dealing with an instability or a unique and original golem that has, you know what I'm saying, helped you on the surface level. But it's Uranus, which is, you know what I'm saying, the Aquarius originality energy, a square energy, and Jupiter in conjunction. So our lessons might be misunderstanding what we have to learn. It's a paradox within itself, because when you misunderstand somebody, you are looking to seek understanding, but you are just missing the point. And when you act upon like that missing point, that's when you are delving down deeper into the natures and getting more into lost in. But when you sit back and observe and understand that there's a misunderstanding, Taurus, you know what I'm saying, or at least Taurus isn't going to go that deep. Like, no harm, no foul, because it is just expanding on wisdoms of how to, you know, maintain its own sense of stability via its own items that has tangible value, or like investing, or like a nest egg, holding on to that so that the value grows. You know what I'm saying? The value continues to grow. And as long as it continues to grow, you continue to glow. But it continues to grow. And with our emotions here, you know what I'm saying? We had this transit like two months ago or so, like that. And we had the Pisces. We had something in Pisces or something. I think it was Gemini. But so there's that misunderstanding with our emotions, how the things that we are expanding and gaining wisdom on by experiencing these things is missing the point of having it. Kind of like a good misunderstanding, kind of like a good in conjunction. You know what I'm saying? I just want to paint that because it's like, yeah, you misunderstand the point because you want to experience and expand in wisdom and things like that. But it's like, it's not jeopardizing what you have, Taurus, because Taurus is fixed on that. And Taurus is fixed on past previous experiences. So it's like experiencing and wisdom as spirits, we expand as a parameter, as a 360. Not just all the way forward, back, left, right. All that is squared out, circle, circumference, circular circumstances that come full circle, right? So that is square and it's stable and it's standing on that, and it's in the past. So we're expanding on a broadness. But with the moon, you can see the directions, especially with the new moon. Like where you're setting the seed to fill your cup, and certain wisdoms are up and down with the moon. It's mood swings. Up and down, you know what I'm saying, back and forth. That is a sense of kind of like direction. It's like a wave, a general wave. And the wave is like you can go right, left, you go to the beach, and like you go to the beach and end up somewhere on a completely different side, right? And you can get pulled back in. But, you know what I'm saying, I love the ocean, my Cancer sun. So, I'm saying, you're expanding in all, messing with my nose ring. You're expanding in all directions, in all circumferences. So there's that misunderstanding, right? Even in your wisdom, because the misunderstanding in conjunction, you know, it's like the knowledge and the know-how, and then the wisdom and the experience, especially with Mercury here. Because Mercury, you know what I'm saying, we're being debilitated with our emotions, like I just said already, right? So it's like you're trying to paint a big ass picture for everyone, but you don't have a slideshow presentation or a projector, or like using people, or like it's mutable. So using people, pieces of a puzzle to paint this image. Like if you're learning how to play football and then you just put everyone in the position that they're supposed to be in, and you sprinkle a few words here, and then you let them muscle memory and training and all that go out to take place in that manner. That's how it's going to look here, as far as logically speaking, right? And so that's Mercury and the moon in conjunction, misunderstanding. But you have your emotional experiences that correlate to what you want to learn and secure, as far as the past, you know what I'm saying, and look into the past, you know what I'm saying, which isn't jeopardizing too much what you have now, because Taurus is always tracking. Taurus doesn't want to be distracted, it's focused, while it's in the past. But like I just said, it's broad, so it's going to be all over with all these experiences and natures. Now, moon squaring Neptune in Pisces. Now the moon squaring Neptune in Pisces and Mercury already debilitated. So our emotional experiences and wisdoms are going to be related to outside people, places, and things, you know, because they share a depositor. So outside people, places, and things, right, of itself. Neptune is at home. Neptune is for the greater good. Neptune in the end energy is to, like, I want to say it's like a healing nature, for our delusions of being at home, because you're being in your waters. Your delusions aren't really coming up and affecting the mainland, like how you see like in the Perseus movies and stuff like that. You don't really see Neptune coming in and causing hurricanes and shit like that, right? But it controls storms and things of that nature, so don't begin on the wrong side of the Piscean fish. I say that to say this: our experiences and wisdoms that we're experiencing emotionally outside of ourselves, because it's a water element and it's the moon. Outside of ourselves, we are learning during this period how our philosophies and our emotions, how we're relating that as far as communicating that logically, and how to work with being in a box, being in a logical box that way, because angles and alignments are like reflections of light. You don't really see a spider web at night until you cast a light upon it, right? So that's how the web is being weaved with Mercury and Sagittarius, right? Because it's very airy, it's very logical, it's very practical, it's very up, and Sagittarius wants to share that fire, express and relate that fire, so that all can come and take a piece of fire and go out, and different pieces of the fire can light up and be like a lantern upon, not a lantern, but it's like, you know, a luminescence kind of energy over the campgrounds and the campsites and things of that nature, so everyone comes and gets their own piece. But it's Mercury, it's a square, so you're gonna have to have some structure and alignment. And Neptune in the Pisces is telling you, like, hey, I'm at home with my dreams and imaginations and slight delusions and stuff. So just because you're painting the picture, you know what I'm saying, with your angle, with your light, with your logic, with your structure cube, doesn't mean, you know what I'm saying, like, basically go within yourself. Yeah, you're knocked out of your depositor planet, but look at me as whether I'm home or not, or whenever a Mercury was in Pisces, if you have this natal alignment, whether I'm at home or not, I'm gonna make this motherfucking shit work, because it's like chaotic energy. It's gonna try to rebel, or it's gonna be in this delusion, right? It's when it comes out of Aquarius and Pisces, Aquarius and Pisces, when yeah, when it transitions from that fixed air humanitarianism to Pisces, more intuitive, more collective, more imaginative, more love, it's gonna do that at home, wherever it is, wherever it's like a little stiff, where things are tight and awkward, like meeting somebody and having an awkward experience based off the situation and the parameter. Like, for example, my natal alignment, Leo in the 12th house, right? You might want to communicate with somebody in private. It's not that you're not confident, it's just that's where you're comfortable at. And so Pisces and relating the collective love is where you're comfortable at. Because if you run into someone that's toxic and it's about self, then you know what I'm saying, it's gonna clash. But it's gonna be like a go with the flow kind of energy with Pisces. So where that square is, that's where we're learning, where we're intuitive, but just in that, when you're in your dreams and imaginations, you're in your dreams and imaginations, and being aware of that, and not trying to overly communicate that super fast, spitting that picture out like Sagittarius is doing. But it's gonna learn how to, when externalizing itself and being too far off into the air and just being like cast away, like when you project the image and like a projector and you see like the wind blow the leaves or something, and you see the image get distorted, and you know what I'm saying, that's what it's like, bringing that air through there. And we have sextile to Capricorn, Pluto Capricorn. They're next door neighbors, so it's like I see you every day taking power and control over business and being the boss and being used and learning how to be used, but also I'm gonna provide this knowledge and this wisdom to you, so that like you know somebody that knows somebody, so you're gonna use your religious status to influence them, to assist you in some manner, right? You're just rubbing the elbows, but it could be a little friction there. So there's that placement with us, that friction, as far as taking power and control, using the opportunity for your emotional experiences, wisdoms, and communicating and talking to people, and coming across like a little bit distorted with the image, but people overall getting the vision, right? So it's gonna come across like that. As far as taking power and control, inserting that more of doing this for the sake of this, dogmatic for your spiritual natures, and therefore you're going to be used. You know what I'm saying? Have a battery in your back for that specific energy. Saturn in cusp in the Pisces. It's gonna be there for a while. So this is a sextile, I believe. Yeah, it's a sextile. So it's a sextile to the third decan of Aquarius, where Aquarius is pretty much matured and it's preparing its mind, and it's preparing to take the humanitarian mission, fixed way of thinking, and ideologic, you know what I'm saying, that part, into the collective consciousness and love, and seeing how, yeah, you have these ideas, but you're manifesting the reality of your uniqueness and your originality. So you're confining yourself until you evaporate into those cosmic waters, get out of that fixed air, trying to blow against that same mountain, right, and ascend into that Pisces collective energy. And this sextile square to the moon in Sagittarius is you taking that opportunity to bring your philosophies, bring your ideologies, bring your emotional awareness and travels, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're already having Mercury here in Sagittarius, so you're bringing your travels with restriction upon, like, hey, this is a set of rules that we're doing for this religion, that's going to help the overall collective, how even if we don't agree in this belief system, we're going to network and then somehow reach a middle ground source to the collective love. So it's taking that opportunity to expand upon that, and when you expand upon the opportunity, in that opportunity you learn your capabilities and incapabilities in that experience. And that was the, you know what I'm saying, and Mars and Scorpio, sextile next door neighbors. You know what I'm saying? Going deep and passionate with your motives, and adding the meaning and reason, the philosophical meaning and reasoning that you can attach to being in the right place, scenario, situation, or event. Even though you're to yourself, it's an opportunity for you to delve into, like, the occult natures, but in a relatable sense with others, where it's less tied to, you know what I'm saying, wanting to be judged or taken advantage of, or try not to escape out of your emotional awareness, or of this detrimental bind with this air, and just throw away the picture. Because people still want to see what you have. People can still work with what you have. People can still come to you with logical ideas, as long as you're not trying to escape out of that. So that was this aspect, you know what I'm saying, astrological transit talk. Thank you all for tuning in, you know what I'm saying. And I fell asleep on the ride over. Thank you.